What's up, buddy?
What's up, man?
Not too much, man. Done losing money. Market stopped. I'm done.
Did you see level 2 on game?
No, bro. I was watching my freaking Nvidia die.
Uh, Dude, I was red today.
I was up 7 grand this morning, and I ended up flat.
Seriously?
Yeah, but
Uh,
you know what? It's all long. Like I've just been buying this shitload of long term stuff. So I started buying Nvidia at like 540,
yeah,
and pretty heavy in Nvidia. But what else fucked me over? Nvidia. I'd have to check.
yeah. I actually got in game there at the end. I made a couple $100 quick, but the level 2 was off, so the fucking bid was a lot higher than the ask.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, even on the sell off, so it was tough. And then I got nailed in.
Holy GME just ripped the A after hours from 100 up to 122. Jesus.
Yeah, and I bought Tesla. I bought Tesla at 670, but I had to run downstairs. I got like a 5 point move on it. I didn't catch too many contracts, but I finished red like what was I red for the day? 7-11. I could not get any traction today whatsoever. Up,
Yeah.
down, up, down. I was like negative $28. I was like, I'm gonna walk away for the day because I haven't been red in a long ass time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And dude, I traded all day, which was the worst thing. That's I'm usually walking around at 10 o'clock. So.
Yeah, I know. I've been trying to walk away too. All right, let's remind everybody that we're starting. All right, guys. So this is going to turn into hopefully a little bit of a weekly occurrence where we bring on some members of the group to share their experience, whether it be kind of a little bit of intro into themselves, but mostly, we want to get a pretty diverse amount of information to you guys. So yeah, like if you've taken the course, you understand how I trade and the 5 strategies that I mostly use. And if you follow Z's game plan and his webinars, you know he likes to scalp and how he selects his options. And we talked last week with Greg Collier, the option book, and he talked a lot about gap trading. Okay, so yeah, this is going to try to be a weekly thing, guys. So I'll let Eric take it away.
Yeah. So thanks, Mitch. I appreciate it. So, just my background. I got into, I've been a retirement advisor since 2003. Prior to that, I was our air assault instructor in the military. Did 2 tours in Baghdad, came out of there. And I've been in finance since, like I said, 2003. I worked with a captive brokerage firm for up until about 2013, went completely independent. So, my day job is, I do a lot of fixed annuity business, fixed and indexed annuities for my clients. So I have almost 420 million under management. I work 3 states. The good thing about where I'm at in Bentonville, Arkansas, is I can be in Tulsa, Oklahoma in an hour and a half. I can be in Springfield, Missouri, hour and a half. So, sometimes you don't see me in the chat. I'm hopping off like 10 o'clock because I'm usually dealing with client work. So I got into, I did Stock Market Lab with Umar and those guys back in, I want to say August of 2018. And then, I started to just get the basics of level 2 time and sales. And then I took the foray into options trading. I came out of class, man. I was in a really, really good class. A lot of those guys are doing really well. So I came out of options class in November of 2019. So my first year in options trading, without having any literacy whatsoever in what I was doing, I tried to gather as much information from YouTube as I could. And what's crazy is how I kind of got into like Stock Market Lab. I saw a video, just a random recommended video on YouTube. Umar had popped up, and that's where I met Z and those guys. But trying to trade options blindly from the get-go was very difficult. I think I blew through. Obviously you keep 25,000 funded in your TD Ameritrade, so you get flagged as a pattern day trader. But I think I blew through $50,000 until I really became okay. I was like, okay, I invested in the course, and my trading has actually, some of the things that I used to do in options trading has really transformed, I'd say, from December of this last year till now. So last year I was very profitable with options trading. Started to size up, got a little cocky. The first year of January, everybody just made money this year. I think the first year of January, or excuse me, the first month of the year, January, was phenomenal. The first week. So I come out of options trading, the first week I clear 61,000 the first week of 2021. So I'm sizing up the second week. Tesla had that bull run the first week. And then I got hit with the $23,000 day, 23,000 red day. Just by being consistent, I think it took me about 7 trading days to get back to break even on that. But one of the things that I've done, and I've kind of learned through Mitch as well, I do a lot of RSI plays, and I've quit chasing so much at the initial high day, at the initial break. A lot of times now I find myself waiting for a pullback. And another strategy that I've used consistently, today not so well. Today was my first red. I think I looked on TraderView. Today was my first red day in almost 14 trading days. But I do like to dip buy a lot right now. And one of the things that I do, I don't necessarily go in with huge position sizing on the first dip. I like to add on the way up. And I'm not trying to catch, I'm not trying to day trade. I don't have that mentality. Mark, Mike, Zach, Luke, all those guys know me, and they can tell you I don't have much patience. So, I scalp. I try to catch the 5 to 10 point moves on the bounces, and I'm fine with that. But I do add to my position sizing as I'm going up. Mitch, you have some questions to me before I move any further?
Yeah, yes, I do. So where I really lean on Eric and ask for kind of his. So Eric and I, we send voice notes to each other throughout the day, and I learn a lot from him. So if you could share with the group, what do you look for on the level 2, the time and sales, and just explain what you look for, because you're really good at understanding it.
Yeah. And, especially with Amazon. So my top P&L earner last year was Amazon. It's not happening this year with Amazon for whatever reason. I don't know what the deal is. So Tesla, but let's use Amazon for example. Amazon, you could get caught in Amazon sideways pretty quickly, but what Amazon does allow you to do is to take profits pretty quickly as well, because it does have brief pauses on the upside. But I hate trading Amazon anymore unless one of the things I pay particular attention to, you want that spread on level 2. I want that spread even on a big stock like Amazon, with the share prices $3,100, $3,200. I want that spread to get extremely tight. I want that bid and ask to get extremely tight. Another thing I'm always looking for in level 2, I want to see where those sellers are stacked up as well. So, we got pump faked on Tesla a couple times today. I looked at the 705 on Tesla and I was like, okay, I did take a quick scalp, but some of the times I will admit, when I see that level 2 ramping up, when I see, the bid and the ask getting really tight, I will go in early on a smaller position size and add at the break. But I really don't stay in positions too long, Mitch. One of the things that I used to trade directly off my phone a lot of the time, and then I just loaded up, as you can see right there, I mean, that's my trading setup. I have 3 stocks pulled up. That's it. I have the 3 minute, 1 3 1 3 usually. So today I think I had Amazon to the left. I always keep Amazon to the left, Tesla in the middle, and usually it's bad to say, but some meme stocks on the far right. Yesterday, yeah, it's risky, and you're very for inexperienced traders, I would not recommend trading these options in these meme stocks right now, because I got burned today. I didn't sell quickly enough when the initial break of, I think, 150 on game, and you could see it pumped up $3-4, and those candles just come right back down pretty quickly. But getting back to your question, Mitch, is that I want that L2 to just be rampant, to just be flying. If it's just sedentary and just like picking through like this, I'm not taking the play. If you look at Tesla on that 670 today bounce, for example, I felt pretty confident. I mean, the RSI, that was a nice dip play. You could say it was a good dip play, but I've seen Tesla sell off to where their RSI is at 13 or 14.
Yes.
On the 3 minute. Another big thing that I've kind of learned is that I used to just trade off the 1 and the 5 minute, and I find that I'm a little more consistent trading off a 3 minute time frame than I am on a 1 minute. I don't pay much attention to 1 minute unless I'm in a stock like GameStop or something like that. I used the 1 minute for entries. I used the 3 minute as a clearer picture and to give me a little bit more allotted patience.
Got it. And then, you know, how can you explain how you add to your position as it goes up?
Yeah. So one of the things
a lot of people will end up doing is they don't add to their winners, they'll add to their losers. And I think, you know, that's just a natural kind of, you're like, oh my God, it's dropping. Now it's a cheaper investment. Like it's, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think you and I both added the Tesla on that negative $23,000 day for me on the downside. So
Yeah.
you know, sometimes you just, you know, you're like, damn, it's going to bounce. It's going to bounce. And this is when I was, you know, I was getting pretty cocky. I was going in 25, 30,000 in position sizing. But one of the things that, you know, I've done, especially with the February's been kind of shitty. I mean, let's keep it real for the whole market. I mean, my equity, I'm down 80,000 in a week and a half, you know? So I'm like, damn. So what I was able to do consistently, I was telling Mitch this, is like, man, if I could just keep that total portfolio, if I could just make my options gains get to where I'm taking a hit, but it's not working this week. Everything's selling off pretty heavy. But, you know, Mitch, one of the things that I've done in February as well is I've really sized down. Like I'm not going in, but I don't think I put 10,000 into contract sizing in last 3 or 4 weeks. And I've been pretty consistent with that. And what I've found is I'm able to stay in plays a little bit longer. But we just haven't, people need to understand, we just haven't had the big, I mean, you take GameStop yesterday at close, we just haven't had a lot of strong momentum plays. You know, you could say NVIDIA for a while, but then NVIDIA was more of a day trade. But, you know, staying your position sizing, you know, you have to understand that those things could go against you pretty quick. And, you know, I've been down in plays, you know, 5 figures before. How much can you take? However, you know, just getting back to a consistency with, you know, trying to stay consistent personally, position sizing has been the utmost key for me being consistent over these last couple of weeks.
Totally. And, you know, for you, like how do you determine, like for you like to walk away in the morning, how, you know, if you explain how you actually do it, how, like, what is some, because I know a lot of people want to learn about trading strategies is like, okay, this is how I buy, this is how I sell. But unfortunately, a large part of success comes from the things you do outside of the actual trading, whether it be your mentality, knowing when to walk away, all of these things. What, you know,
I mean, Mitch, I think you and I have talked about this, Mitch. I mean, I think my best day was, you know, I've done 60, 70,000 in a day before, like on Roku puts, you know, but this was early on. So there's a little bit of luck involved in that as well. My goal personally, you know, I make a great income. I'm very fortunate. I have great clients. I have a lot of independence, a lot of free time with my job. I can create my own schedule. I can do everything I want. I look at options as a lifetime residual income for me. So mentally, I'm like, okay, let's do the math here. Like, I'm good with $1,000 a day. That's my goal. 1,000 a day. If I have, you know, I try to have 15 or 2 weeks of consecutive green days before I start sizing up a little bit more. Now, this last week, I've been pretty fortunate. I've had a couple $3,000, $4,000 days. You know, I did almost 5,000 yesterday just in power hour on GameStop. But if I could do $1,000 a day by 10 o'clock, 9 times out of 10, I'm shutting it down. Because my mentality was like, hey, 5 days in a week, 4 weeks a month, 5, that's 20 times 12 months. That's $250,000 a year just in residual income for me. And I'm good with that, man. Because I would recommend to some of these traders, you know, TraderView is going to track your trades for you. You don't need the big plan.
Here, yeah. Because that's when you really realize, hey, you know, what I always teach the students is trading is like a business. So if you have a restaurant and it only does you've kept it open for a year, you're like, okay, we look at it, we make the most amount of money between 4 and 8 o'clock. Okay, so we're a dinner only restaurant, right? Yeah. So for you, your business operates best when and in the morning.
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, what's actually helped me out a little bit is having a daughter who's pretty athletic, and I'm not getting in front of the computer until like 8:45. That's helped me out a little bit because I'm not involved in those huge pullbacks, you know. And what GC OptionPro, I love that guy, man. The guy's like, He's great. But anyway, if the stock's not making a higher high after 10 o'clock, you shouldn't go long in it. You understand what I'm saying? If it's not making a lower low. But and I'll jump into some plays pretty early too, Mitch. But I mean, the L2's got to be ramping, the volume's got to be coming in. So consistently, first and foremost, I'm looking left to right. So I have it just patterned. I'm looking at SPYs, I'm looking at Amazon, I'm looking at Tesla. So I want to see, Amazon moves with SPY. Tesla today, you look at SPY's movement today and you look at Tesla, it's almost the exact same thing.
Yeah.
But, really going cash at 10 o'clock's helped me out tremendously as well, getting stuff off the table. Early in the day, I'll try to make 2 to 3 plays and get to around $1,000, $1,500. And I'm done, because I look at TraderView and I see my least efficient times of the day. Yesterday was just pure luck during power hour. I mean, I woke up late. I had some business going on in the morning. I had a lunch meeting. I didn't get to trade till power hour. Yesterday was just luck. But I will tell you, the last 2-3 weeks, my goal was to shut it down, and it's been very consistent. What happened today, though? Got red right out of the gate on Amazon and Tesla. Sat here and traded all day, dude. All day, up, down, up, down, up, down. Finished red. First red day. So that's a testament to what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough to walk away. It's tough to, and again, I think most of what takes to get to that next level is usually from, it's not about really the entries and exits. It's more about the mindset you bring. It's the understanding when to shut your business down, right? To keep a business open while you have no customers coming in, aka keeping your trading open while there are no good trades. Those are your customers. Those are the people making money. It's not worth it.
Right.
That's good. Do you guys have any questions? Does anyone want to pop in and, ask some questions here about really anything? Anybody? We got always a shy group. No, nobody, no questions. Oh, we got it in the chat. What time do you stop at? What time do you normally stop?
10 a.m. Central Time is my goal.
Which is what, 11 Eastern. Okay, yeah. Cool.
Yeah, market's open 8:30. I get a good hour and a half in.
Yeah, it's about the same for me too.
Yeah, try to get a good hour and a half in.
Okay. And then PB asked, how long you been trading for? When did you start? You said at the start when you took SML, how long you been truly options trading?
So I'll tell you what got me into options trading. I share an office with an independent broker dealer. And I think Mark and I have a business together, a side business. And I think Mark flew in, and the guy I share an office with, he's got a good bit of, he's got a good bit under management, but he does mutual fund, stocks, securities, everything. And he was blowing off one day about making 100% for his clients in a year in a couple, just random options. So he was managing some of my money and he knew nothing about options. So this is what led me to look into Stock Market Lab. I was like, I'm going to start doing everything myself. And I told Mark, I was like, a year and a half later, I'm like, I'm trying to make a fucking 100% a day, dog. You know what I'm saying? On my premium. And you could do that most of the time.
Yeah.
So I've been consistent. Like, I've been very profitable. Last year was a phenomenal year for me, and I talk about, hey, that's $250,000 a year in residual income. I did over 300,000 just in options trading last year. Just being consistent. But with that being said, it's still like it's still a process. Like, it's still a process for me. Like, I'll be 45 in March. I'm still learning from young guys like Mitch. You're what, 24?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think the key for everyone in the group is to find there's traders in the chat that I've found that I like their style, and I'll take something from each one of those and try to implement into my process of options trading as well, if that makes sense. So I may take something from Erod, I may take something from Leo, I may take something from Tariq, I may take something from Z, I may take something from Yaza, and just be like, oh, okay, well, I like the way his mindset is. Let me look into this and try to learn more about this and try to make myself the ultimate options trader as well.
Love it. That's a great thing about having a good community. Z asks when to size up. When do you know to size up?
Quite honestly, I will size up if I have a little bit of room on the day, if that makes sense. If I have a little bit if I have some profitability, if I'm well over my goal, and I could say, hey, I'm okay with losing $1,500 or $2,000 in this play. And I'm going to look at the overall market condition as well. I'm going to look at the breadth of the market. I'm going to look at how SPY is doing. Like right now, man, and I think I've told Z this, I suck at puts, man. Like I'm bull at heart.
Yeah.
I suck.
It's
so
tough.
What's worked out well for me is actually taking some bounce plays with 2 or 3 contracts at a time. And I'm good with a 5-10 point move on Tesla. Like I'm good with that.
For sure.
On a bounce.
Yeah, I think a lot of people struggle with when to size up. I mean, there's so many ways you can do it. You can try to grow your account on a percentage basis so that as your account grows, you're forced to size up. You can try to add position size to your actual trades. You can do it on a day-by-day basis. Yeah. So
let me interrupt you there for a second, Mitch. I will tell you, I pay myself the end every week. I'm not keeping more than 45, 50,000 in my TD Ameritrade because what's going to happen if I keep that in there?
Yeah. That's when you can get crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's another a good habit for people to take. And that's, I think, actually, I don't know if Tariq covered that last night, or we plan on doing a webinar on that, is how to pay yourself. And what I recommend doing is, if you have a job, which Eric does, and many of you do, the job fuels your expenses, your day-to-day, and then your trading can basically fast track your long-term investment. So you can take profits from your short-term trading and roll those into, what we're seeing right now in the market, great buying opportunities. So if we're going to do a full webinar on that, but that's a great point to make.
And don't be afraid to change to equities either.
Yeah.
On some of these meme stocks. And I never did that until, like, you mentioned it to me 2-3 weeks ago. And I've done that a lot the last couple of weeks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Next question. Where do you see the efficiency ratings on TraderView, or did you
I found it. We're all good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think you could do the monthly plan. You can just go to your account statements and activity and just upload those. I do that every day. Trust me, there's some days where I don't, those couple of red days I had in January, I was like, fuck this, I'm not uploading it today. Let's reset. But no, you have to for accountability purposes as well. But I think it's $29 or $30 a month, and you can that plan will have just go to the reports view and it'll be right there. Like it'll show your most efficient times when you're in a trade, the average trade time. That's not always 100% consistent, but yeah, that's a good accountability tool. I choose that to do because it's hard for me to journal. I do take, some days I do take. Today was just, a nightmare. I took way too many trades today. I think my commissions were pretty decent today. Just trying to break even. In my head, I'm like, damn, I'm not taking a red day. And it actually hurt me.
Yeah. Okay. Next question. What is the average length of your trade in terms of time? And then when do you decide to cut a loss? What's your stop loss on trades?
Okay. So let's use, I'm trying to think where I took Tesla. I did take a play on Tesla today in the afternoon. I was waiting for it to break 705. I should have waited for 706. I hopped in when level 4, when 704 hit the 704.50s and things like that. So in my head, I'm like, if this can't hold 705, I'm out. So I wanted to break the key level. I wanted to retest, but I'm not dicking around for 5 points is because I've found if I take that L quick, that's a hell of a lot better than, a lot of times if you are doing, that's another thing, EMA crossovers, I rely on those heavy as well. But I will tell you, if you look at that stock and you're waiting for an EMA to hold on a 3-minute, some of those mofos, they're a long way from the EMA. Like for you to sit in that thing and be patient. I don't have that kind of patience. You're chasing a stock at a HOD at the high of the day, and you're going to let it pull back to EMA. Sometimes that's a long road back. But, in the past, I was like, well, I'm going to let it bounce off the EMA. I've got a 5-point stop loss in my head most of the time.
Right. Okay. Evan asks, can you explain when you do the Tesla dip buys, what are you looking at? Do you look at the RSI, or are you just looking for a whole number? What are you
Yeah,
looking
yeah.
for?
Yep. So today I played the 670, and I knew that the webinar was getting. I wanted to go for a ride after we get off the webinar, so I wanted to go change, and I was like, damn. And I realized that was a 20-point bounce if I'd have stayed in that the 670. So I saw that it bounced off a 670 on the second 3-minute candle, and that's when I felt confident with that. I was going to be a tight ass and buy at 670, 185 or 672, but I wanted to take that play at 670. So my stop loss mentally right there would have been 665. I could deal with that. But I only went in, so I think my contract pricing at the time, I think it was maybe $700, $2,100 in premium. I went with 3 contracts, and I saw buyers start to step in as well. And I ended up selling out at 5. I caught a pretty decent, almost 5-6 point move on that.
Yeah. When you're doing your dip buys, do you look at the RSI or?
Absolutely, yeah. It was right at 20. Look at that play. It was right at 20 on the 3 minute.
That was perfect. I took that one. I just took it with shares. But I mean, I think I got on shares 672 to 688, so 16 points on shares.
Yeah, and I've noticed. So I've been studying the EMA lately for your larger stocks. Like I was looking at it with Amazon, and I just don't have the patience. I mean, I don't want to be looking at my phone all day. I want to get out. I want to go ride. I got a lot of independence. But I've been looking, back testing the EMA, quite a few days on Amazon. And those are pretty good day trade plays. I mean, they're pretty consistent. The EMA across to the down or the upside on a stock like Amazon could bode well for a nice 10 to 15 point move on a day trade. I think that, but it's not always 100% foolproof though. You go back to that, just like the RSI play, but you have to be willing. You have to have a plan. When in the past, I would just go off strictly price action. I didn't know when I was going to take entries. I looked at my P&L, and I quit doing that right now. Like I don't look at my P&L. I have a target. You'll see me go in the chat. I'm like, okay, I want to target here till, for Tesla, for example, 675.
Yeah.
I want to catch a 5-point move, so that's my target. And you gotta. And you sometimes, go ahead, Mitch. Sorry.
Yeah, you stick to it too. When it hits your target, you're out. You're not like, okay, I'm changing what I always say is people change the goalpost. They're like, oh, it hit 675. Well, I'm going to hold to 680. And then it goes to 676 and then it dumps. And they had their exit, but they get greedy and then now they're red.
Yeah, there's one number that keeps flashing in my head all year, and it's that 880 for Tesla when I was trying to get that 900 push. And I remember that day I sat there, and I turned into a $23,000 red day.
Yeah.
Trying to catch that break. So you could try to catch it, or you could take, if you got 5 contracts, sell 3, let 2 go. I never did that until this year. I never did that. I was all in or all out. Now, adding, and I will tell the guys too, I don't know if you guys have done a webinar on this with, with your TOS, have your active trader, have your dashboard set up, have your option chain linked to where you want to go. Have your option chain linked, have the dashboard pulled up. Because that works a hell of a lot quicker for me, and I'm selling into strength 9 times out of 10. I'm getting join the ask. Like yesterday with GameStop, I mean, I was join the ask on the exit all the time. Now, sometimes I'll overpay on the push too if there's good price action.
Yeah. Okay. How do you set your stop loss? You kind of just talked about that. Sebastian says takes 20% of his profit. So yeah, Z asks, and this is a really good question is, when you got blown up that day, I hate to say blow up, you lost a fair amount on a Tesla trade. And you were really good at making a comeback actually. And you had messaged me and you asked me, you're like, man, like what, it sucks. And I told you that I got blown up once in a trade.
You're like, don't do a 30 week. And I was like, okay, that's stuck in my head.
and I was just like, yeah, man, I've been there. For me, I gave him the recommendation of just kind of sizing down and getting kind of just crawling your way to the end of the week and then starting fresh. And I mean, yeah, you can answer, but you took a more of aggressive, but you crushed it the next day or two, like big, and made it back.
Yeah. And I actually I think I did that this summer as well on Tesla. I had my worst day prior to that. I think it was 7,900 was my worst day prior to that $23,000 day. But I remember this summer as well too. Don't do as I do most times, but I took a $7,900 L on Tesla on a Thursday, and I made 13,000 on 0-day expirations on a Friday the very next day. So I've always been well at bouncing back, and I understand. I guess what kind of hit me most, like it didn't hurt me financially, but what did mess with me, I was like, damn, I could have bought Lyndon, could have bought my oldest daughter. She's fixing to drive. I could have got her a nice Honda record for 23 grand. I was like, never, ever again. So now, just as well as I'm up, fine with being up 1,000, 1,500, 2,000 and calling it a day. If I'm down 1,000, I'm shutting it down for the day.
Yeah, fair. Very
Because
fair.
that I'm telling you right now, Mitch, that shit never flies. At least for me, it doesn't. Because I'm going to revenge trade. I'm going to go in $15,000, $20,000 in contracts. I was prior military, athlete. Any of us who are athletes are uber competitive.
Yeah.
That could be a downfall for us.
Well, and I think you're very good at what I've noticed in you is you're very disciplined. You work out every day. You follow the same routine every day. You trade the same stocks with the same strategy every day. You take profit the same way every time. There's something to be said about discipline, guys, that again, it's like you can copy the exact same trades that Eric does, but it's the discipline about taking, how to show up mentally with that same discipline. And that's really what I try to promote in the group too, is that trading these, GameStop stuff, buying them after hours up 200%. Maybe it's fun, but it's not a discipline that you can get away with forever. And it's one of those things where you really, if you want to be around like Eric's doing, crushing it consistently, you need to have discipline, and that's really what it is.
Well, I would say, let me add this last thing as well. I mean, yeah, I'm kind of OD with it, but I think that being a successful trader is just more than learning charts and watching YouTube. I think you've got to feel good about yourself personally. Like I feel like, when there's times of chop, I'll get on my bike and if you look, I'll hop on that thing and ride and kind of side eye exactly what I'm doing. I'll go down in the garage or catch a workout, but when you're in tune with your mental health, take the time, like I said, there's some days I won't trade. I'll just step away and I need that break. So mental health is of utmost important what we do. Physical health is up there as well. Your diet, eating right nutrition, and the better you feel about yourself mentally and physically, that's going to transition into your everyday habits with your trading as well. Because it can fuck with you, man. Like I take red days hard, bro. Like I do. Like today, I'm just like, damn, it was only 1,000, not even $1,000 red day, but I'm like, damn,
Yeah, 100%. Okay. Any other questions, guys? Any other questions? I think, any plans to shave your head? Yeah.
That's gotta be Z. I don't even know who that is.
Ava asks, how do you reset? What are some things you do to kind of reset?
So the good thing is, I love having a day job on the side. And I think I was telling my cousin Mike this. Mike's in the chat as well. I have a number, like I have a financial number that I like to keep liquid. And that when that number gets affected by, I can always go out and I can see as many clients as I wanted. I have no glass ceiling to my day job, to my earnings potential or anything like that. Was it like that starting out? Mark will tell you, it's a hustle, my first year and a half. But resetting as well is just stepping away. I think I know Ava, she probably stepped away at the end of the week last week, but getting your mind off things. I've always found that, I've tried to meditate. I just don't have the patience for it because I'll start thinking about everything else. But, getting back and taking some time out, getting outdoors, clearing your head, getting the fuck away from the computer, getting away from trading for a couple of days, getting off social media for a little bit, as far as trading is concerned. And I'll put that time. I'm fortunate to have two beautiful daughters, and I'll put that time into something else. But those big days. I think Kev went through one a couple weeks ago, and he rebounded. They're crushing, but you just cannot. You have to have the utmost faith in yourself and your surroundings to know that you're going to be able to rebound for that. And you're not gonna get that in 1 or 2 days, man.
What I always say too is when you reset, Ava, I saw you post in the group that you had a tough month. I think for me, you have to find a fine balance between not pushing it so hard that you revenge trade, but that you can't take too much time away from the market to the point where you feel like scared of the market. It needs to be that kind of fine, at least for me, that fine line between, okay, I need to show up and prove that I can kind of belong in the market and that I'm not scared of it. But I know that I'm not maybe in the best space to size up and make it all back this week, right? So I think for me, I need to find that to reset after a big loss is I need to kind of come to terms, okay, I lost it, I'm not in the best spot right now, but I can't be scared of the market, I have to show up. And that's,
I think the most difficult thing for me, Mitch, is like there's been days this last year, especially in the summer, where I was really, really consistent. I was like, do I really need my day job? And I feel like God always comes in and grounds me just when I get a little bit too cocky in that aspect. He's like, yes, you still need your day job.
Yeah.
You know, and it's good to have. There's some days where I've been doing the same thing since 2003 in my business, and there's days where Mark will tell you I get really burnt out. I'm like, damn. I mean, it's a great income, but it's a lot of pressure. Having your own business is, you know, you're your own entity, your own business when you're trading as well. So everything we do, I mean, it's a lot of pressure. You got to find some ways to unleash that, you know, whether it be through working out, whether it be through, you know, I produce music on the side. Like that's a good outlet for me as well. But you got to find you just cannot let what we do engulf your day-to-day routine in life, because it'll destroy you.
Yep. All right, guys, any other questions? If not, thank you, Eric, so much, man. We appreciate it. It's great. It's great for the community, guys, and we're gonna have many more of you guys on as well. So we want to kind of create a good community and have everybody in here bring some value, bring some perspective, talk about big losses, talk about trading strategy, stop losses, entries, exits, you name it, all of it, guys. Thank you, Eric, and let's crush it tomorrow, guys. Let's have fun.
All right, man. Thanks, guys.
All right, guys. Bye.